Hello everyone, welcome to the Kai's Family of Services September update. As we close out the last month of the third quarter, here are some updates from our leaders.
Hi, Craig Garcia with Capital Partners Mortgage. This month I wanted to talk to you about the recent news that FHA had come out with that they relaxed their guidelines regarding condominiums. It's getting a lot of press, people are pretty excited about it, and I wanted to temper your expectations about how much this might be able to help our condominium lending market down here, and what we have is kind of an alternative to FHA financing. So the big news was FHA is going to allow spot condominium approvals. They relaxed their investor percentage that they allow in the condos, and that all sounds great. The one thing that FHA did not relax was a restriction that they have on leasing requirements or leasing restrictions. So if a condo or a management company reserves the right or has to approve any tenants to rent in the building, then that project is not eligible for FHA financing. Sounds unbelievable, but it is actually true. Most condos, even if their budget is great and everything is fine, if they reserve the right to approve tenants, they're not going to get approved for FHA financing. And that's the reality of it. It's unfortunate, but the good news is we've got a whole bunch of options that can help people buy the same condo conventionally with even less down. So we've got 97% condominium program. We've got down payment assistance loans that we can do in condos that have the budgetary requirements met. And so FHA is not going to be a huge condominium opportunity down here, but we have a bunch of conventional options. We're doing more high LTV condo loans than ever before, and just wanted to make you aware of that little requirement that's going to keep that big news from being kind of something that you can really put into play. But we're here for your condo loans, and hope to speak to you soon. Have a great month.
34% of all flood insurance claims in 2018 were on properties that were designated low-risk flood areas. When surveyed, many of these clients said that the reason they did not purchase flood insurance was because they were not forced to at closing by the lender. Many others said that they did not want to incur the extra cost that the flood insurance premium would be on an annual basis. We have many products today in the private flood insurance market. This is in addition to the National Flood Insurance Program, that are very competitive priced, that have a wide variety of coverages. So if you have a client that's closing on a house, it's not in a flood area, it does not mean that flood insurance would not be a great and smart option for them. We have all those products available. We hope to hear from you soon.
Hello there. Many of you have already heard about RON, the new acronym in the title industry and the latest craze in real estate transactions. Don't know who RON is? Well, RON is a what and not a who. It stands for Remote Online Notarization, and it will revolutionize the way we currently handle real estate transactions. There's much to learn about RON, and this is part one of my series, What is RON? What do I need to know? And how will it affect my business? So, what is RON? Remote Online Notarization. It's a process whereby a signer personally appears before the notary at the time of notarization, and in our case, the time of closing, using audio-visual technology over the internet to notarize the signer's electronic signature instead of being physically present in the same room. The use of RON will become effective in Florida on January 1, 2020. And there are now over 20 states that authorize the use of RON. Virginia was the first back in 2012. It's important for you to distinguish the difference between electronic notarizations and RON. For electronic notarizations, physical presence by everyone is required by law. And currently, underwriters require that written consent by all parties to the transaction be obtained prior to the execution of documents electronically. And this includes the seller, the buyer, the borrower, and lender. With RON, everyone can be connected via the webcam. Additionally, underwriters require that RON-approved agents follow specific procedures for identity proofing, provide a clear quality audio-visual recording of the Notarial Act that must be kept for no less than 10 years, and have a comprehensive vendor security program to ensure data security. As you can see, there are many components that need to come together for the use of RON in real estate transactions, and this will include a lot of communication and preparation by all parties. One of the best things about RON is that it will allow us to practically do away with out-of-state and out-of-the-country signings. Can you imagine a world with no more mobile notaries and no more visits to the U.S. Embassy? It'll take some time, but it's coming soon. There's even some talk about Ron boosting out-of-state and out-of-the-country real estate investments in Florida. It's all very exciting, and there's still lots to learn, so stay tuned for part 2 of my series, What is Ron? What do you need to know? And how will it affect your business? I'm Marlene Rodriguez with Home Partners Title. Make it a great day, and I'll see you next time.
Hi, Benji Jean with Kai's Property Management, here this month to talk to you about disparate impact. You may have recently heard that a law firm in Florida filed 48 lawsuits against property management companies and landlords citing disparate impact as it relates to people being declined for properties based on their criminal histories. While it is not a violation of fair housing law to decline someone based on their criminal history, HUD's recent recommendation states that a blanket policy may be harmful to minority groups under disparate impact. So what is disparate impact? Disparate impact is an act of discrimination that may not harm one individual under fair housing law, but can be deemed harmful to a minority group overall. Meaning that we need to be prepared and be proactive with our landlords when screening and declining or accepting of tenants. What can your landlords do? One, myrentalscreening.com is a great start because we screen everybody using the same criteria. The second thing is, your landlord should have a written policy of what they expect when they're approving or declining a tenant. Be consistent. Make sure that everybody is screened using the same criteria and screened equally. Remove any questions pertaining to arrest records off of any applications, as you cannot decline somebody for an arrest record. And finally, you may want to stop and think before looking at someone's criminal history. Make sure that you look at all of the information of financials and everything else you're looking for first. That way, if there's ever a problem, you can state that you screen them exactly the same as everybody else. Thank you, and have a wonderful month.
Thank you to our leaders for the great updates. Now, on behalf of Family of Services, we wish you a happy Labor Day weekend with your families, an amazing September, and we will see you next month.